You are live. Hey, good afternoon, everyone, or morning, depending on where you are. Dan Baumann here with the Designer Show, on with soon to be hopefully John Schrader, who was on, but he just texted me his internet just went kablooey on him. So hopefully he'll be joining us soon. Anyway, thanks for being here. And it's one of those days where we're just going to have a little fun, doing a little Q&A. Or I'll just get on and show you a few things that I've discovered in Chief X13, or whatever you guys want to do. So let's have at it and have some fun. So first of all, oh, look at that. My Chief just went to heck. Sorry, I have X13 open on my other screen, and I brought up a 3D view, and my toolbar just went to heck. It's like something about using GoToWebinar, and I'm using a program called StreamYard right now, which is it's messing with the video on my computer because every now and then Chief Architect's toolbars decide to go to heck, so I have to end up resetting them. And yeah, it's not the end of the world, but still kind of annoying when you're on a show and you got people watching and you don't want to have that happen. Anyway, if you've got any comments, please feel free to add them. Let me know that you can hear me. If you wouldn't mind typing in that you can hear what's going on, that would be great. And I'll just go ahead and start going through a few things in Chief Architect. So let me just share my screen. Let's see, let's get to this one. I am nope, that's my screen. Anyway, a lot of these shows will have topics and we'll have things that we're going to cover. Today it was just kind of a, I really don't have anything to go over today other than answer your questions. So feel free to type in your questions if you've got some, or you could email them to me, dan@chiefexperts.com, and I will be looking for them. I've been working on this project. This is a project that I did many years ago. Am I using style palettes? Can you do a primer on that? Oh, you bet. Yeah, style palettes are cool. I don't use style palettes very much, but I do know how to use them and how to set them up. It's actually quite easy. Okay. And I've been working on this little project. It's a volunteer thing from my old school that my kids used to go to. And I got a call from one of the guys there that does a lot of the things. And they were putting in they want to put in a new sign. And I just kind of threw this together in X13, and I did some walkthroughs, and it was really quite fun. And let me show you what ended up happening here. Give me 1 second. I've got to get to the right place here. Find the link. So let me go open a browser, and here's a feature I didn't think I'd use very much in Chief, but I'm really starting to like it. It's the new walkthrough feature in Chief Architect for making little movies and things like this. So I went in and I started creating some different signs. So I threw together this web page that showed a few different examples of the signs that we're looking at doing. And started, this is kind of the one that they're landing on. And so I did all this in Chief Architect. This is a building I drew in X1 back in the day when my kids were going to the school 20 years ago, 2003 is when I did that. And we use that in a big fundraiser and stuff. This whole thing, I got a lot of time into this project. But anyway, it really was fun. It turned out well. And Chief really performed well for me on this whole project. But now they're doing some new signs out in front. And so I put those together. I thought maybe I'd show you how I did some of those real quickly, but let me come back to that and I'll answer a couple of your questions real quick too. So the walkthrough feature is quite cool, the way they've done it in X13. And I think a lot of people will probably start using that. And as Chief makes a few more improvements on that, i.e. give us a video format that is more compatible with everything out in the internet these days, called MP4. Chief does a good job with Windows Meta files. And if anybody knows if there's another format that's built into X13 that works pretty well, let me know. I'd like to know about that. So let's go with this. Let's go do this style palette thing real quick, and let me go ahead and reset the toolbars so that I can show you what we want to do. So I'm going to go into preferences and go to reset options right here. And we're going to go to reset toolbars. Again, this is, I don't know if it's a chief thing, if it's a, I don't know what causes it. But anyway, the toolbars just tend to blow up sometimes. Only when I'm doing these kind of things where I'm sharing a video with another application. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to right click on an icon, go back to my toolbar configuration, and go to my extended tool configuration. And there we go. So now I'm back to my basic toolbar that I like to use. What usually happens when I bring up a 3D view and okay, so let's see if it holds solid here. Yeah, so it didn't burn out on me right here. So anyway, here's that building I did way back in the day. The school added a big addition. These white spots are big additions on the school that they were doing a lot of work on. And anyway, it was good. It created a really cool presentation for the school. But here's the sign that we're working on. And so I thought since I had the model, I'd just throw that thing right in there. Why not? All right, so style palettes are I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, aren't I? You guys need to ask more questions. So let's go open up a new plan, or let's go open a plan. Let me find one that I've got some things in. And here, I'll just do this one right here. Let me do this one. Okay, and so let's say that I'm in a plan and I want to make some changes to it. Oh, John is back. You made it back, John.
I made it back.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. I got my laptop out and I'm on my iPhone.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the internet just decided to play tricks on you today.
Yep.
Gotta love that. Let me go open up a different plan. I don't like that plan I had open.
Are you getting any buzzing or anything for the sound?
Nope, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so I want to get a plan open here. I don't know, you didn't hear much of what I was talking about. I was just talking about some things I did for school. I'll show those here in a little bit, but I want to answer a few questions first. And let me get to a plan that I want to use. If I can find it. This is where it's not a good idea to just do Q&A open forum because you don't prepare for things and you're not ready. So this is right. Normally I would have all this stuff all worked out. So let's see. Oh, this one will work. Let's go to Broadway. This was a project that I did in X11, I think. Yeah, this will work just fine. Okay, so here's a project that it's got a nice kitchen in it. Got lots of finishes on it. We're going to talk about style palettes for a second, John. And so here's this project. Okay. And since I don't have the super duper video card on this computer that we're doing this on, I can't use the new rendering feature in Chief Architect. So we'll just use the plain old. Although let me just try real quick, see if I can blow my computer up here by going to the physically based in X13. I just want to see what it looks like here because it didn't look too bad in 12. It's not bad. It's a little dark, so I need to add some lighting. So, but the new ray trace rendering in X13 would really take this to a next level, and it would look pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Did you get any? Did you get your RTX RX whatever it is 3080 card yet, John?
No. One of my clients did. He got a computer from Micro Center, and he's excited about it. He hasn't got it set up yet, but he's excited about it.
Oh, okay, cool. What did Micro Center get for a unit with the 3080?
I'm not sure. He sent it to me which one he got.
But I've been seeing on Newegg, they're selling the cards now. You can get them, but they're going to cost you $1,800 to $2,000. It's just like I'm not willing to spend that on a video card. So when they come back down to the normal price of $600, $700, $800, yeah.
Yeah, you got Micro Center's version computer. It's a power spec, the one that they put together. It's iCore i9 10900 KF 3.5 gigahertz RTX 3080 10 gigabytes. and then I think it's got a terabyte solid state drive.
Okay. All right. Style palettes. Where are the style palettes again? I don't remember. I haven't used them. Are they bonus catalogs? Or are they in the core? Let's get back to the catalogs. Alan, where are the style palette library? Is it in? Let me look in bonus. Should be under style, I thought. Under S, PQRS. There it is, style palettes. It's a bonus library that you can download. Chief does have a lot of things in the style palette library already. So if you look at these libraries that Chief has, so if you go online, if you go up to the library pull down and go to get additional content online and just search for style palettes in Chief Seal, you can download this library and it'll have these things in already. So if you look at this, you can see that some of the different things that you can do in a style palette. You can have different types of base cabinets, wall cabinets, and full height cabinets. Different styles of windows with different casing, different looks of windows. Okay, so you can set all those things up, different doors with all the different moldings. You can set up the different moldings and colors in rooms, floor finishes, things like that. And I'm not even sure what these things are. If they're countertops or something, that could be what they are, or some sort of slabs. So anyway, to use these things, all you have to do is click on a style palette and drag it into a room and click on the room, and you'll see everything in the room will change to the new style palette. Let me just switch back to a standard render so you can see this a little bit better. So let me go find another one. So let's click on this one right here, and I'll click on that, and then I'll just click on the room, and oh, come on, that's not what I want to do. How do I do that again? Do I have to drag the whole thing in?
The cabinets and stuff have to be set to their default colors and stuff, don't they? Change it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't used style palettes much either.
I haven't either.
I was kind of excited about it when they first started doing it, and then my scope of work changed, and
you're doing more construction things, huh?
Yeah.
So I wonder, I probably don't have these cabinets set to their default settings. Let's go take a quick peek at the material that I'm using, although that shouldn't matter, I don't think. That's what's puzzling me. Well, let's go create a style palette. Let's go open up a new plan, and I'll show you how to do that. So you go download Chief Style Palette and use it, but I'll show you the technique to create a new one. So let's just go into a plan here. I'll just pop in some walls real quick and throw in some cabinets, and we'll throw in some wall cabinets. And I keep missing the corner there. Throw in a window, throw in a door, throw in an interior and an exterior door. So you could do, it's basically all the common things that you might set defaults for in your plan. You could do these style palettes for. So if I were to go take a look at this room now, and I look at it, and these are all default items in my plan now. Okay, so if I were to grab a style palette now and pop it in here, come on. Okay, so if I just click on, yeah, see how it changed all the different elements in the room. What I want to do is click this icon. You got to watch these icons down here. Okay, so I was clicking on object. You got to click on room, floor, or plan. So if I want to apply the style palette that I'm clicking on to the entire plan, then I have to click that. I just was set on object, so it was only doing the few things that I was clicking on. So let's go to a whole floor, and now let's do the style palette again. And so when I click on this room, now we see all the windows change. Okay, if I click on this one, different style palette, then I can click on the room. Okay, so you got to watch these icons down here. So if you want everything in the entire plan to change, all of your rooms, upstairs, down, now you can do that. So you could see there's a lot of benefits to this, to getting this set up right. So once you create something in your plan and you get it set the way that you want it, okay, not a fan of that one. So let's say that, okay, I like this. This is what I want to put in my style palette now. So what I would do is let's see, can I click on the whole room, or do I have to click on items? Let's see here. Yeah, so anytime you see this icon when you've selected something in your plan, add objects to the style palette. So when I click on that, what I'm going to do, so you've created a plan, you like it, you want to use it on other plans possibly. So you can create these style palettes that have these things already preset in them. So I'll just call this a new style palette. New style. And so right now it's going to do the room, and we click OK. Okay, what are we going to add? Object, base, wall, custom. We don't have a thing for everything, huh? So this is going to add the elements of the room. Okay, so now if I go look at the style palette that I've got, here's my new style. It's got a room in it. So now I want to add these cabinets. So I wonder if it works better from the floor plan. Let's go check that. Let's click on the floor plan for a second. Let's click inside this room and click style palette. And would you like to create a new style palette? Let's hit add to the existing one I just created. Okay, and so what I'm doing here, there's that. I get to choose that one. I don't know what happened to the name there. And so I click OK, and it's about to replace one more of the items. Click OK. So it just did the same room. All right, let's try this by selecting a bunch of items and click style palette. Nope, we don't get that. So I can group select a bunch of cabinets and hit style palette. Nope, by golly. So anyway, whenever you see that, add to existing. So I'm going to add it to that library and click OK. Now I've added the base wall and the base and wall cabinets to that style palette. Now click OK. And I could click on the doors in the window and add those to the style palette. Okay, add to existing. I don't know what happened to the name. But anyway, so now you can see that you're starting to accumulate things in that one library for that one style palette. So you could create as many of these if you wanted to. I must have accidentally deleted that.
Can you change the lights in the window and have that be part of the style palette?
Yeah. Yeah, anything, however you set up the defaults for the window, it's going to change. I don't think I can change it once it's in the style palette. But if I go here and I go, okay, let's go change that to have grids on it. So I'll go 3 and 4, lights and movable, click OK. Now if I go click and add that to the style palette, add to existing, let's go add it to that same one. It's going to replace the window that's in there with the one that has the grids on it now. And so now when I look at my style palette there, you see it has the grids on the window. So pretty simple when you get down to it. And you can't add everything in your plan. You can add, it looks like about 8 to 10 different things in the style palette. So it's kind of cool. It can be very handy. If you do a lot of decorating, if you do a lot of interior stuff, kitchens, baths, things like that, and you want to show your clients different ideas, be a real quick way to do that without having to, recreate everything or, have different options.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. We're getting a few questions here, it looks like. Alan says he upgraded his PC to have the RTX 3070 and see the real-time ray tracing. Any idea how it compares to the longer CPUs? Yeah, if you are the 3070, I don't know how that compares to 3080 or 3090. It's the, I don't know what the difference between those cards are, but what would take 2 hours on my computer, you should be able to do in a couple of seconds. Yeah, maybe 10 seconds at the most. Okay, that's the difference. It's pretty phenomenal what you can do. I have a 2070 on my laptop, and I can get a pretty good render in about 10 to 20 seconds. Ray trace. So it really does work. Have you tried it, Alan? How's it working for you?
While we're waiting for that, Kelsey has a question about, can you turn off, where did it go? Is there a quick way to remove texture from the material so it just leaves the color?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can actually add an icon to your toolbar, which I used to have one here. Let me go see. Give me 1 second here. See if I can reload that real quick. I'll go import toolbar from a folder. Toolbar Dan. There it is. Oh, this is not the one I had the thing added to. So that's to turn the 3D patterns off. So if we bring up a 3D view.
No.
Pardon? So it's what we're
Patterns
looking
is
for.
patterns is one thing, but textures are another.
True. So what was it? Is it patterns or textures?
She's asking about textures.
Textures. Okay. Yeah, patterns are, if you're in a vector mode, this is patterns. Okay, you see, you get the line drawing on top, versus standard mode, which is going to be the actual photographs. We're going to just show the base color, and under
3D up in the top bar, and then
that's
toggle.
right. Which one is it again?
Toggle textures. It should be there somewhere.
Gosh, I'm just in a mess today.
Maybe it's not under 3D. Maybe it's under CAD or View. Maybe it's under View.
No, I know I had the stupid tool on my toolbar.
If you just go to the tools and go to toggle textures, and it'll be under, go to the where you can add the toolbar up on your add the tools on your toolbar.
Customize toolbar.
Yeah.
Let's go. No, we're going to customize. Yeah, customize toolbar. No, toolbar tools. We go texture. 3D viewing.
It's under 3D.
Which icon is that?
Oh shoot, where is it?
Convert textures to materials.
My camera's gonna go haywire here. I got to get my chief up on a different screen.
Okay, yeah, I just did this. For Pete's sake. Toggle patterns. Here it is. It's this icon right here.
Where'd you find it?
I just typed the word toggle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and you know what? I have to be in a 3D view.
And that's patterns again. That's not textures.
Oh, that's not textures. Okay, thank you. Let me go do that again. Toolbars. Customize toolbars. Boy, I'm just not doing well here today. Let's go toggle again. Toggle patterns, toggle, not patterns, toggle textures. Maybe it's a 3D. I think it's a layer thing. Camera 3D views. No, it's patterns 3D views. That's patterns again.
I'll look for it if you want to find it.
Yeah, why don't you find it and let me know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. All right. Alan got a 17-inch laptop from 11th gen, 17937, 1 terabyte SSD for $2,700. Good price, Alan. Nice job. Have you ever had issues with cracks, light bleeding through the cracks of rooms? Yeah, I have. And I've heard from different things, like usually it occurs up here at the top, along the top of the screen. And that's where it tends to be the most. I've heard if you put a roof on your plan, that'll take care of it. I've known that to be the, oh gosh, it's under this. I think it's called the bloom. Make sure you could try turning that on and off. Try adjusting your ambient occlusion. Sometimes that helps. Other than that, I'm not sure what causes that. I haven't had any trouble with that for the longest time. Make sure your video drivers are up to date. That's always a big one. Video drivers are huge. So one of the easy, if you're on Windows, if you're on Mac, they should be updated all the time, I believe. So if you go into if you go to nvidia.com and you go to where it says solutions, change their website. Where'd it go? Products, software. We're looking for the GeForce Experience. So nvidia.com, click on products and software, GeForce Experience, and you're going to download that. And then run that GeForce Experience on your computer. It can take a while sometimes because it's going to search through your computer and pick out the right drivers. And a lot of times it'll update your drivers automatically. It works most of the time. I've had a few issues where it didn't work, but the GeForce Experience does do a nice job. If you just Google GeForce Experience, that you should find what you're looking for. Paint in room mode. Kelsey, I'm not understanding.
That was for something else. That was
for something else.
When you were messing with the style palettes.
Ah, all right. Kelsey, yes, there's a quick way to remove that. We'll figure that out. Use the rainbow tool and delete the textures. No, that's not what we do. You don't have to delete the textures. There is a tool.
I'm getting close. I'm just checking some stuff out.
Okay. And I know it's right in our face. It's right in front of our face. I know it is, and I just don't. Yeah, it's Friday. I should be out golfing. Although I haven't golfed yet this year.
Well, I found it, but it's not taking everything away on the siding. It is under 3D, and then down under camera view options, you can toggle the textures from there. Camera, yeah, right there. You got to be in the right camera to do it. You got to be in a standard camera view. It should be up a couple.
I don't see it. Camera view options.
It's under render view. Camera view options, and it's the second one down. It's not. You're not getting it because are you in a camera? You're in a camera. Are you in the standard
view? Yeah. I'm not in a vector view. Vector, I got that turned off.
I'm doing it in 12.
Oh.
So maybe they got rid of it.
No, it's here yet. Maybe that's why I don't remember where it is, because I'm not seeing it. It's usually here. Well, if anybody knows, please chime in. Okay. Why doesn't my auto story pole dimension match my model? Philip, I'm not sure. It should be when you do the story pole thing in an elevation. Are you an X13 or X12? I know they made some changes in X13, but when you do the auto story pole dimension, it adds this in here. You can click on it and tell it, actually in the defaults, you can click on it and tell it which, under dimensions, auto story pole dimensions, under locate elevations, you can tell it which things to locate in your elevation. So you can add these other things to that. Now I'd have to kind of see your plan to kind of understand what it's connecting to. It's not connecting to something in your current plan. Any idea, John, why that might be connecting to something that's not there?
The only thing I can think of is if he's using a space mouse and he accidentally twisted the model a little bit, the story poles would look like they're not going to the right place, but they would be.
Yeah. Try it in a cross section. Try the story pole in a back click cross section. So click on the backclip cross section and do it there. And then you get a better idea of what it's connecting to, and you can kind of see where those lines are going. Now you could move those items just like any dimension. So if you want to add other items, just grab the diamond like you would when you're changing dimensions, and you can move them and add them to other things in your plan. All right, so obviously I don't have many things in here to add them to, but that's kind of the deal. So it works exactly like dimensions. So if you can't get to something, you could also just add a CAD line, and you could run your story poll to that as well, or not, maybe not. No, it doesn't attach to a dimension or CAD line. Guess it only attaches to things in that elevation. I haven't used it in X13, so I'm not sure if they've made any changes to it.
Yeah, they moved that toggle textures somewhere else in X13.
Okay. I mean, it makes no sense that it wouldn't be under 3D. Of course, if we're in a 3D view, that might help. If we're searching for something, be in the view, you want to find it. I suppose we could ask help, huh? So if you click on the question mark up here, yeah, it's not like, you know, if you're going to go the hardware store, you got to go through up and down every aisle before you ask for help, right?
Right.
Toggle. The help in Chief 13 is it's live now. In other words, whenever you're doing things, it will update automatically to the thing that you've clicked on. So I don't see. Yeah, let's not spend time on that right now. So if you'll notice, if I have the help open here and I click on different things in my plan, see how the help changes to give you information about the items that you're clicking on. It's kind of cool, actually. So you can turn that on and off by I think it's clicking this icon right here, clicking sticky mode. So it's a good way to do it. I mean, Chief does put a lot of effort into their help files, so it's worth checking out, using the information. Oh, clay model. Yeah, that's true. Clay model would work if you switch to the clay model in X13. That's a new rendering thing. No, that still leaves the textures on too. Clay model just gives you a whole different look to your plan. Kind of cool, actually. So it's you can change the color of the clay model. You can change the lighting. You know, all of the different elements that you can change. So if we click on the little page with the pencil on it here, we can start adjusting some of these elements of that. So you might want to just play with some of the things in there, maybe adjust your lights and see what you come up with. So here's where you might be able to here's where you can define the clay and what color you want it to be, and just have some fun with it that way. A little bit more exposure on the camera. Oof, that's quite a green I picked out there. Let's get something a little more subtle. Just a different way to show your plan. I've seen some really nice results from this. So play with it a little bit and see if you can find something that works for you. It's a good way to show your plan without showing someone something that's so realistic. It keeps the, you know, it keeps them like, yeah, you're still in the idea mode. Is there any way to get the window label off the window center automatically? So you don't want the window labels centered on the windows. I mean, obviously you can grab the little dot here and move them off. If you wanted to automatically change the window labels, you'd have to go into your defaults for Windows and go to the label option, and you're going to set an offset here. Okay. So you set your offset. So if you want all your window labels to be 24 inches off center, put a 24 in there. Right now it's 10 inches away from the window. So that's how you adjust where it gets put from the window. Okay, so if I click OK now and I'm done and I go add some more windows, the labels should be off center. Yep, so there they are. So if you're trying to adjust it so they're a little bit, so they're not quite centered, that's how you would do it. Something's not lining up with floors and ceilings. Philip, no, I need a little bit more clarification on that question.
Why don't you go through, did you go through a little bit how to change what's included in the story pole? Maybe he's going to his surfaces instead of the framing or something.
Well, yeah, that's again where we went to the defaults. We go to dimensions, auto story pole dimensions. You can change these different things, and you can locate different things too. So make sure you're locating the right things with your story pole dimensions. So just, again, work with these different items in your plan and start adjusting them. Make sure that they're working okay. That's going to be your two spots where you're going to get the results from the auto story pole tool.
Yeah. And look at where the diamonds are actually going to. I have had some that will snap to something that's not in the view because it's picking up a roof behind or something like that, or that's inside a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Or a ceiling height. It'll pick up a ceiling height sometimes that's not quite accurate.
I haven't used this. I haven't used those for quite some time. So most of the guys I work with don't require that kind of stuff. And so I'm not the right guy to ask about that one. Huh. So when I set it back, so yeah, it doesn't reset the existing ones. No, I would have to go back and manually set those. Mike wanted to know how you can show the window size label and the schedule symbol at the same time. So what we do is we go into the window defaults, and this won't affect any windows that you've already got in your plan, only the windows that you're about to add. So if we go in here and we go to your specify label, and we're going to specify in a macro object specific. And we're looking for, what is that? Auto label, right?
Yeah,
yeah, that's what we
want.
want.
That or window number, one of the two.
I think it's auto label. And then we go to schedule. Then we add our window schedule. You could do this with doors and cabinets and things too. Window schedule. Oops. So there's our window. Oh, I got the wrong schedule here. Here's our window schedule. And you see how it just switches to the call out label. So now we got to double click on the schedule, go to labels and turn off use call out. Is that it? Use call out for label. We turn that one off.
Yeah, you turn that one off.
Okay. So now I did that wrong. So now I have to go.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. That's right. It doesn't change. No, it does. It should change the existing windows. Do I have to put? Is it?
You have to put the. I think you have to use the number. Go back into the macros for the window.
Yeah, I used the wrong macro. Window. Delete that.
You got to use two macros. You got to use the size, and the number or the label.
Schedule number.
Schedule number. Do that one. And then add the size after it.
The size is still here. So if I put in a new window now, my window tool.
Okay. Times height.
Okay. Yeah, so you do have to do that. Okay. Then another macro.
Object specific.
Automatic label.
Out width and a height. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Well, the label will work.
Yeah,
or you could add any of the other labels that you want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
go.
How that would look. So it's giving you the number. So it doesn't put the call out there, but it does give you the number that would be on the schedule. So to do your other windows.
If you were to put a.
Go ahead.
If you were to put a return in your window label, it would put it on top and bottom of each other.
It would stack them, yeah.
Yeah, I'd stack them.
So so if we go select the rest of the windows, you could click the marquee tool down here at the bottom and then click the pizza and, well, that's not the right term for it. Just still looks like a pizza to me. And then we open the dialog for all of those windows, then go to label, and now we could add that macro for all the rest of them too. So it's a simple way to do it. And that works pretty well too. So now your labels will be always up to date with the window.
The main key to making that work is you have to go into the schedule and turn off the label as call out, or call out as label, or whatever, however it terms it.
Yep.
Otherwise it won't work.
Okay. Okay. So let's go talk about that walkthrough feature in Chief. It's pretty cool. So I did this project and I wanted to, I created all these different signs for this project because they had some different ideas of how they wanted to make it look. And so let me go to, I created the signs in a different file. And then I just pasted them in here, put them all on different layers so I could turn them on and off. Come on. There it is. Come on. What the heck is it doing? The roof layout, that's not the plan I want. IGEM sign plan. Not getting the right one to open up. All right, let me try it again. Open a recent file, IGEM sign plan. Where the heck is it?
What are you looking for again?
I'm looking for a file.
Oh,
It's not opening up right. Let me go back. Let me just go into the stupid folder for it. Craziness. All right, so we're going to go to IGEM, the name of the school, IGEM sign plan. There it is. All right, so here's, so an architect had kind of sketched out these different signs that they wanted to explore using in front of the school. And I went into Chief and modeled them. So just using slabs for everything, I created all these different signs in the program that would match his plans. Okay. So there's some of the signs that I created. I was trying to show, I'll tell you a couple things that I was having problems. So creating the boxes to create all these things is really easy. Okay. So, you know, you just create the box the right size, put it in the right place, done. Okay. I wanted to show, they wanted to have the rough cut edge on these slabs because they wanted to kind of make it look, you know, similar to that. Okay. I was trying to figure out how can I do a texture like that to match that kind of a cut stone, hammered edge stone, I think they called that. And it's like, damn it. So I couldn't figure out anything. So I just used a rope molding, made it really big. So yeah, you know, it's not the greatest, but it kind of gives you the idea. So that's what I did. So that's a countertop. Okay. So this would be a countertop with a rope molding and then solid inside. Okay, so there's my custom countertop. Because with countertops, you can add moldings to the edge of it, and you'll have a solid box with the molding around the outside. So that worked really well. That was easy. Something like this, I had to actually create a custom molding around the outside of it. Again, it looks kind of cheesy. I wish I could have figured out that hammered look. So if anybody has any ideas how to do that, let me know. The way I created the sign, which is kind of interesting. So I finally realized, you know, I could have done this in Chief. I didn't have to use a photo editing program. But you see how I have this slab that has this stuff on it. Okay. And then I just put that on top of this slab. So the background of this slab is transparent. All right. And then I have a logo, and I've just used some text there. And I have that on top of the slab here. Well, I could have done that right in Chief on the elevation, and it would have worked fine. I did it in my photo program and photo editing program, and I just created a picture that is got a transparent background. That's the right proportions to what I want to put it on in here. So let's go do that real quick. I'll show you how to do that. Let's go into an elevation here of this. Get back to the right spot. Let's just go. Let's go right here. Let's bring up an elevation of this, and you could type this in any view. So let's just go add some. Well, actually, I take that back. You do need to do this in a blank plan, because I want to export a picture of this. Actually, will I be able to? Yeah, I'm not even going to go there right now. Never mind. Let's not talk about that right now. How's that for being decisive, John? Because it just dawned on me when I export a picture from Chief, it's going to export the whole screen, not just that image that I want. Okay, so in my photo program, I created an image that looks like this. So it looks like this. So that's what I exported from here, this size. And that becomes the photo that I need for the sign in Chief Architect, because I wanted to have the logo and all this stuff on it to fit those boxes. And it worked really well, actually. So I just had that transparent background. Then I just put it on top of a slab, and it worked great. So I have this transparent background. One of the things I discovered in Chief is if you have a transparent photograph on top of something, see how it makes the background dark? So here I have the stone color back here, but when I put this transparent picture on it, it makes it dark. There's a setting in this view you have to turn off called Ray Cast Sun Shadows. Don't ask me why. All I know is it works. When you turn that off, now it doesn't show that dark background. So that solved that issue. So now I can just move that back, and there's my sign. So I had to make a photo, the right proportion of the box that I wanted, and then I just went and created new material. So you open the library, I created a folder called IHM, and I created a new material by right-clicking on the folder name. I went new material, and I created that from that photograph that I had of that sign. So any sign, anything that you want to put in on a plan, you could do this really easily. So what I did is I named it, and I browsed for the image that I want to use. And so here's that image right here. You see it's about the right proportion of the thing I want to put it on. And then you bring that in. It'll pop in here. You see how it's got the checkered background, which means it's transparent. Then I hit stretch to fit, so it stretches the surface that I put it on. And then I click OK. And then I go OK. And so there's that image that's going to be on that surface. Okay. So when I put that, so if I were to move this off here and I wanted to put that image on top of something, I had to create 3 boxes here. I had to create the middle part, which is the solid stone. I had to create a box here, which is on top of the solid stone. It's just a 16th inch thick box. So I just created a real thin box. And then I put the transparent picture on top of that box. This is solid behind the picture. And then I just did 2 of these on each side. So all I did, so if I just bring this in here, watch how this works. So I'll just make this a little bit bigger. So I made a copy of that box. So if I go to my library now, where I created this sign, and I click on it, it'll turn to a spray can, and I can put it on top there. See how it made that box? It put the image on all 4 sides. That's why I made it real thin. So you won't even see the real thin image over here. And then you just slide, I just put that right on top of this other box, and there you go. So right now that box is too much in front of it. So it's kind of blending into it. That's how I created that. Now, the way I created the walkthroughs is in Chief. So in Chief, I brought in I put the 4 different sizes signs on different layers. And so if I go to my layers, you'll see that I have, option sign number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I had 5 or 6 different options actually. So I just put them on the different layers to show the different signs. Okay, so all my walkthroughs originate in the same plan using the same walkthrough. I just turn on different layers for those different walkthroughs. So it's just a way to show different options within the same plan. So let me go back to this. And I'll turn back on the one. That's the one that they've actually decided to go with. That one. It's plain and simple. So let's get out of this 3D view. So what I did is I went to my plan. And I went to the walkthrough tool right here, the one with the little shoes on it. And I hit create a walkthrough path. All right, so it's pretty slick how this works. So create a walkthrough path. And then what you do is you just go draw a line where you want to walk through. And then you can start adding to that line. You can just keep drawing. All right, so you just keep adding. And what it's going to do is put a spline around where you want to go. So you just keep drawing and you can adjust the spline where you want it to be. All right, now what you're going to do, when you click on this, you have this little icon down here at the bottom of the screen called Walkthrough Preview. This is cool, what they did in X13 for this. This makes this tool work, all right? So before it was like you always had to run the walkthrough and you would guess at what it was going to look like. And it's like, that's kind of yuck. All right. But when I open the walkthrough preview screen, you get this now. So now I can just go like this and see what my walkthrough is going to look like. That is pretty slick, isn't it?
Yeah. Right.
And then what I could do anytime I want to in here, I could go say, right here, I want to have my camera face the thing a little bit more. So I put in a keyframe. So I'm going to see which one is it here to add a keyframe. Let's see. Where is it again? Do I do it? I don't remember. Do I do it here? How did I do that? Excuse me. I don't remember how I did it. Maybe it was I had to break the line. Was that what I did? Oh, no, I know what it was. Down here when you click on the line on the floor plan. It's weird how you do these things. You just do them. You don't even realize what you're doing. Okay, so back here. Okay, so if I go click on this, I'm going to click. Let's see if I click right here. You're going to click on this, add a keyframe. All right, so you can add these different keyframes along this line that the camera. So now I'm going to click on the line and add a keyframe right there. So I could take that one and I could just go follow the line. I wouldn't have to add any keyframes. But if I wanted to do more things with the camera, so like here, I want to focus. I want this camera to turn that way from that keyframe. Then I'll go add another keyframe. You can also click on them and use the delete keyframe button down here. Okay. So if I go down here now and I click on add another one and I click along the line, it's running really slow for some reason. It's got to be because of the meeting here. Mm-hmm. And then I could take that one and point it a different direction. Or did I? I don't think I added a keyframe. I think I added a break. Okay, add keyframe. You know what I did? I hit delete keyframe. So think of it. So I'm going to put a camera and I'm going to point it a different direction along that line. Okay, and if I don't add another item after it, that camera will just kind of slide itself along the line at the same angle. So if I were to go preview that, you would see how at that point of that keyframe, see how it turns toward that camera, to that thing that's out here, and now it turns to that item, but it's going to stay angled in like that the whole time now. So if I wanted to have it point to something else, I'm going to add another keyframe. So you got to click the right button down here. add a keyframe. Then I could point the camera a different way. And then I could give the camera different heights. You could turn different things on and off for the camera. So you could adjust each of these keyframes or new cameras, basically, any way that you want to. So if I point this way, you'll see that now when I go through my walkthrough, it's going to go look at something different. It was actually kind of fun. I did this last Saturday. I was just screwing around, and it was kind of fun to get all this done. But see how it goes, looks the other way now? And again, it'll stay pointed out there for the whole rest of the time. Okay, so if I wanted to go look at a different thing, I got to add another keyframe. So you can add as many keyframes as you want along that path. Now, the other thing you could do is say, well, how long do you want this video to last? I'm going to say, I want this to be really quick. I'm going to go 15 seconds. All right. So I think that's for the whole video. Or is that just for that camera? I didn't play with the time that much. Let's see. Let me click on the different keyframes. Speed, 3 feet per second. Okay, so each camera, yeah, you can set the speed. This one's really long. Let's make that 5 seconds. See if I can get it to go really fast. It didn't take this long on my other computer. When I wasn't in a meeting, my video card kept up just fine. All right. So, and if you have the new video card, the RTX 3080 or 90 or whatever, you'll be able to do this in that ray trace mode so that it looks like you're going through a photo quality type thing. So this is Chief's way to, they're moving forward as they keep improving this program, where you'll be able to do those real live, lifelike looking types of things. All right. So then I would click here, and I would click the red button here to record the walkthrough. And I'll hit, you can say what size you want it to be. Remember, the bigger the size, the bigger the file size you're going to get. And I'll hit OK. So right now it's going to be frames per second. So you don't get many video options here. Windows, it's not. That's one thing I hope they change. So then you're going to go in and change this, and I'll just call this a demo. And we're going to save it. And once this is done, I could then go upload that video to Facebook, to my website, to YouTube probably. I think YouTube will handle this format just fine. You could keep it private on YouTube and just send people a link to the private video. You could put it, you could just send the file to the client too. And they could look at it then. So now it's going kind of slow, and this last part should speed up, I think. Yeah, now it's going to go. I did something. Then when you're done with that, so you created a file. Now you could go hit play that. Hit the green button here. Oh, that's not what I want. Where'd it go? Well, if I just go to that folder, I can find the file. So make sure you put it where you can find it again. And it should be down here called demo. There it is, a Windows Media video. And there's the thing, and the client can now just kind of zip through it, and didn't even record that frame after that one. I think I had to add an end frame or something. But that's the general idea. It worked quite well.
Cool.
So, yeah. So it's something that works now. So here's what I did with this, and there's that. So, by the way, I got those cool people at the 3D warehouse. Just search for 3D people. Just drag them onto your screen. Bam. You'll have it. They're really quite nice, actually. Okay. I think we're about time. Any questions out there, John?
Yeah, there's a couple more.
What do we got?
I think the one about, there was one about, is open recent files still there? Yes, it is. It's under the file menu.
Yeah, and you can adjust how many you want on that list in preferences, I believe.
Yeah.
Under probably file management, recent list file. So if you want a whole bunch of files to be on that list, you could change that number to more if you wanted.
All right. And then are CAD details linked to the plan they are created from? And can I block a CAD detail for use in all plans from user catalog and library?
A CAD detail is simply a 2D drawing. Okay. So if we go in here and we go search for CAD, let's see if we come up with some drawings that are pre-done. You know, there's some CAD blocks. So yeah, these are just drawings. It's totally independent drawing from anything in Chief. The only time you get a linked CAD detail is from a 3D model cut through of the project. So that's the only way you get that kind of a detail. Because if you change the model, then the cross section would update. But if it's CAD drawing, no.
But if you make a CAD drawing in your plan and you don't save it to the library, it's not going to be accessible to the next plan.
Well, you can copy and paste it from plan to plan.
Right.
But yeah, if you want to have it,
save it in your library.
Yeah, just click on, you know, as you create that drawing, I'll just draw some CAD lines here. And so what you're going to do is you're going to group those lines together, the lines, the text, everything. You're going to make a block out of it by clicking this little icon down here, make it a CAD block. Then what you could do before you send it to the library is open it and give it a name. You know, here's my new block, or whatever you want to call it. And then name it. Hit OK. You can name it after you do it too. But now if I go add that to my library by clicking the little book icon down here, and if you want to change some things in it too, you can always click this icon. This is really cool what they did here. So when you have a CAD block and you've got it selected and you click this icon, now I can go edit that CAD block without having to unblock it. I'm in the actual blocked item. I can edit, I can add more things to it. I could add some text to it, whatever you want to do. You can edit that block. And when you get out of this, I'll hit save. And, you know, it found another instance of this, so I'll update that instance in my plan. And now my block is updated without me having to ungroup it.
Cool.
Isn't that nice?
That's going to save a ton of time.
Yeah, yeah. And then you can add that to the library by clicking the books. And, oops, I must have missed it. Add to library. Okay, and there it is. And my new, well, I guess I had it in my library. And I can also edit it from here. Edit CAD block. I don't even have to take it out of the library to edit it. So you can do that, edit it there, close it, and tell it, yeah, update it in the library, you bet. So I just really like how they've done that in Chief, and they've added those features. But so that's in your library now. Anytime you want to use that again, you can, it'll be available for you. Now, Mike had a question about libraries. I just remembered. So what I do with my libraries, because I want to have the same user libraries on my desktop and my laptop, is I go into my preferences and I go to folders. And what you're going to do is look for user library folders. This one right here. And you'll see I have my user library in my Dropbox. Okay. If you could do Dropbox, you could do Windows Live, you can do Google Drive, any service that you use to do file sharing. Put your library in there. So what you do is uncheck this, go search for where you want to put them, just browse, and then select, I'm in Dropbox, so I have all my libraries in Dropbox. So I just created a folder and selected it. And then Chief, when you hit OK, Chief will automatically move all your user libraries from its data folder, which is what this would be, into the new location. And then you just go to your other machine and link that same library to that same Dropbox or that same shared folder. And then your libraries will always be up to date on both, on all your machines. So it's a really nice way to keep your libraries consistently up to date on all places. You could do that with the other libraries as well. I don't do it. You could try it if you want, just be careful with it, but you have to switch your whole data, all your data libraries could be in Dropbox too, if you really wanted to. So all of the libraries, all of the datas, all of the archives, all of the textures, everything would be in a online environment for you that you could share with other computers if you wanted to. Or if you just want to keep it backed up all the time, you could do that too. So I really haven't done this for a long time, so I can't really tell you how it works or not. I did it once at version 10, I think X10, and it seemed to work fine, but I just haven't done it since then. Oh, we're over time. Time flies. Here's David Michaels for show. Yeah, actually, I should give David a call. David's a good guy. He does a lot of nice things over at Chief Tutor. All right, cool. Well, I think we'll check off, or whatever you want to call it. Go ahead.
Talk about that question for a little bit.
Which one? Oh,
one you got up
using
there.
an HD 2021. Can upgrade to either HD 22 or cheap, but I found I would need to upgrade my entire computer for big money. I'm not happy with what they have done. The only thing you're giving up by not upgrading is their new rendering engine, their new rate. It'll still work exactly the same as it does in X12.
By not upgrading your computer.
By not upgrading your computer. So the only thing you give up, and I don't have it on this computer. This is my main computer that I use all the time. If I go to preferences and I go to video card status, you'll see that I am not able to do hardware ray tracing because I don't have the right video card. And so, yeah, that's fine. Okay. I don't do a lot of that rendering stuff anyway. No big deal. It's not Chief's fault that all of the gaming manufacturers out there, the way they're doing their video gaming engines and all of this stuff, have switched to these new hardware platforms, which right now are crazy expensive because of the chip shortages everywhere. They'll come back down to more realistic pricing in the near future. I'm hoping by the end of the year or something like that. So, that's the only thing you're giving up. So,
And the client I mentioned at the beginning that bought a new computer to upgrade, he had a computer that was old enough that X13 would not work on it at all. So that's why he decided to spend the money and upgrade. So, but if you have a fairly new computer, X13 will work on it just fine.
Just unplug myself. So Windows 7 will not run Chief 13?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's not a 30. It's not probably. Is Windows 7 not a 64-bit platform?
You don't even have support for Windows 7 anymore, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's Chief. Windows. Chief doesn't have control over Windows in the fact that they're deprecating their old platforms. So, what's Chief's got to keep programming for the future, for what is available. So yeah, I know it sucks, Alan. It does. So okay, that's why you got a new laptop. So yep, I get it. It's just you got to keep up with the times, I guess. It's supposed to be fun buying new hardware, isn't it? It's exciting to get all this new technology, right, John? Yeah, I know it gets
exciting. It's fun.
Yeah, I know.
Till it's not.
It's fun till it's not. Yeah, and it was time. And Alan said, "Yeah, as computers get bigger, better, harder, faster, and all this stuff. Yeah, we just have to keep up with them." Mine is going on, I don't know, 3 years now, 4 years. So I don't even know if I can just add a new video card. I might have to do a whole new system. So, but I'm going to hang tight till the prices come down because everything else is working just fine right now.
Actually, the computer that he bought, was like $2,800, consider inflation, and it wasn't that much out of line from what it would have been 5 years ago. True.
That's a pretty nice system for that money.
I paid $2,200 for the one I bought 4 or 5 years ago, so. Yeah.
Anyway, cool. Well, we got to run. Thank you guys for being here. Sorry we started a little rough there, but it's fun. Appreciate all the questions. It was fun to go through those.
And I cannot find that toggle texture button. So if somebody finds it, let us know.
It's there somewhere. I know it is. So we'll find it. As soon as we hang up here, we'll find it. So
Yeah.
everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you next time, 2 weeks from now. This is Dan and John sign off. Bye, everyone.